All right, guys, let's talk about Golden Tee. Golden Tee is one of my favorite games, and let me explain why it's one of my favorite games. Golden Tee made a lot of money. So I used to do vending machines, let's say, and one of the biggest games, one of the biggest money makers still today was Golden Tee. People like Golden Tee. So let's say I had a bar. If I had a bar, especially in New York City, one of the first things I would put in that bar would be a pool table. Right after a pool table, I would put a Mega Touch. Right after the Mega Touch, I would put a Golden Tee. Even after Mega Touches have gone away, especially since the iPhone, the Golden Tees remain, and they still make money. Golden Tee was a money maker. They used to come out with different ones. They would basically upgrade kits every year, with new courses, but people like Golden Tee. So one of the first things that I would do, and the people I work with, is we would get a bar. Somebody would want machines in there, and the first thing I would try to see if I would put a pool table. Pool tables make a lot of money in a bar. If I couldn't get a pool table in there, the next thing I used to turn to was a Mega Touch. Mega Touch are those touchscreen cabinets, touchscreen TVs. There's different games in there. I like Mega Touch. There was a couple of games I used to like a lot. You put those in there, you made a lot of money. And then right after a Golden Tee, if I was able to, if there was room, I would throw the Mega Touch. I'd throw a Golden Tee. And that was my second go-to game. Always made a lot of money. Now, Golden Tees would work well in a bar. They would work well in a club like a VFW. These are kind of like private social clubs. They're for veterans. Sometimes just private groups have these places that they hang out in. And again, if I couldn't get a pool table in there, the next thing I would do is maybe try to throw a Mega Touch in there. And if I couldn't throw a Mega Touch, or if I did have a Mega Touch and I had more room, I would put a Golden Tee. People like Golden Tee. This game was addictive. There was if I remember correctly, we had a high score system set up where it kind of gathered high scores from other bars or clubs around that area. And, they would have like a leadership board and people would compare, and that would go on. And people used to love Golden Tee. The Golden Tees that I had dollar bill units on it. So it was like 50 cents a game. If you put $1 in, I think you got 3 for $1. And it was just a fun game. It was a money-making game. A lot of guys used to play it, some girls, but it never stopped making money. Now, as time went on, you had iPhones that came out. And once iPhones came out, a lot of the Mega Touch machines just weren't getting play. It was what it was. Mega Touch eventually went out of business. The second thing that happened was even the jukeboxes at the time, because you would have a jukebox, that even kind of went out, but we still had a Golden Tee. Now, besides Golden Tee, the other game that made money and still makes money is a Big Buck Hunter, which is another Arcade1Up that's supposedly coming out. But that came a little bit later. Golden Tee's been out since, I think, the late 90s, if I'm correct, like 98, 99. And it was a big machine, man. And it was big and it was heavy. But it made bank. It made coin. And that's why, at least in my area, in the 5 boroughs of New York City, usually if you went into a bar, they would have a Golden Tee. Usually first they would have a Mega Touch, and then if they had room, the next game was a Golden Tee. Now I'll tell you something else. The other game that was another big money maker besides the Big Buck Hunter was the Coors Light bowling. There's a bowling game. It's called Coors Light. It's Capcom bowling, but it's got like a Coors Light theme to it. That was another game. It was another rollerball game that made a tremendous amount of money. People just like to play it, maybe because it was simple. I don't know. I mean, it was bowling. You kind of just, aim the ball. You push the track ball forward as hard as you could. And, you know, he knocked down a bunch of pins. Same thing with Golden Tee. People just used to love, you know, the first shot where they would, you know, they'd be lined up and they would just, you know, rev that trackball, man, as fast as they could do it. And that's kind of what was going down. Wonderful, all fantastic. These were all really fun things back in the day. Now, this Golden Tee, the Arcade1Up Golden Tee, I think is very good. I like playing it. I've played multiple Golden Tees in multiple places, multiple Best Buys, let's say, and they all seem fabulous. I love them. The trackball seems to work good. The trackball on the Arcade Golden Tee, man, you could just like kick this, man. You could really just, as hard as you could, you know, push that thing and it would go. This trackball, you could push it hard, but it seems like it's almost a little bit more sensitive. So you don't really have to, with all your might, you know, push this thing forward and it goes. But it seems good. It works good. I have a lot of fun with this. I seem to gravitate towards this. I was in a Walmart. I think they had a couple of games set up. They had a Golden Tee. I went to the Golden Tee. Best Buy seems to be having a big Golden Tee push. I was in 3 different Best Buys this week in 2 different states, just traveling back and forth. And Golden Tee seems to be set up, and it's on, and it's working, and people seem to be playing it, and people seem to be enjoying it. I definitely enjoy it. I was on this Golden Tee, I guess, for about 3 or 4 holes. I probably would have stayed there and played the whole game through, but I had to run. But a really fantastic game. This Arcade1Up Golden Tee is good. Now, this is a simple game. It's golf. You know, it's basically, it's a trackball. You're really just pushing that trackball forward, right? You pull it back a little bit, and then you zip it forward. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's not like, I guess, like a centipede, right, where you're kind of like going all over the place, frantic. It's just really a back and forwards motion. It works good. It's smart, and kids like it. Even kids that don't like golf, I was seeing little kids play it. They liked it. They just, you know, just like the movement of it. It just flows well. So this Golden Tee is good. I see them at different prices. No matter what Best Buy. I seen one for $199, then I seen it for $249. It seems that, again, you have to shop around. I was in 3 different stores that weren't more than a couple of miles away from each other, and each store had a different price, who's having a sale. Like I said, you know, and then you could bounce around from Best Buy to Walmart, and all sorts of stuff is happening. So anyway, that's it. That's my Golden Tee story. Golden Tee to this day. I know that we're kind of not able to go into bars and things like that right now, but last year, March, when things were still kind of rolling, Golden Tee was still making money. And here's another thing about Golden Tee. Golden Tee has different, each year, it's like Golden Tee 2000 and 2001 and all that type of stuff. You could put a Golden Tee that's 5 years old. It doesn't have to be the most updated Golden Tee. It could just, it's just Golden Tee, whatever. It'll still make money. The people don't say, oh, this isn't Golden Tee 2020. I'm using as an example. I won't play it. They just like it. They just like the aspect of just, you know, rolling the rollerball and golf and all that good stuff. So that's another thing with this game. It doesn't have to be the most updated version. The people are still playing it, and that's success, right? That's a real successful game. It just transcends, and that's it. All right, guys, like, subscribe, comment. Hope everybody's doing well. If you have any stories, please leave them below. I love to read your comments. Maybe you have a Golden Tee story. I don't know. Share it. That is it. All right, guys. God bless you, and I will talk to you guys later.